Hi, this is Mark from Pocket Gamer with a soft launch lookout at a new game called Isolani, currently in testing in New Zealand. And it's the new game from Scattered Entertainment, the boys and girls who brought us The Drowning, the not very good first-person shooter, free-to-play FPS on iOS last year maybe, which was all about sort of shooting oil slick monsters who have come out of the ocean again and again and again until you got enough currency and bits and bobs to make a car, and it was generally just very repetitive, very basic and not much fun. But the thing that was interesting about that game, and the reason why we would care about whatever those guys made next, was that it had an innovative control scheme where you would, all delivered through taps and swipes and gestures. You'd tap on the floor to move, pinch in and out to zoom in and out like you were looking at a website in Safari up close, and then you would tap on the screen with two fingers to shoot. And it was okay, it was different, and it kind of worked and gave you quite a lot of accuracy and speed that you didn't normally get from a first-person shooter on an iPhone. As you might have noticed from me playing this game, Isolani, the new game from those guys, has basically ditched all of that interesting control scheme and just gone with a standard twin-stick shooter. It's actually got auto fire if you just sort of aim at a monster or whatever these things are, security bots, then you automatically shoot. Kind of like Dead Trigger 2. You can turn that off in the options if you want to be the master of your own destiny and pull that trigger finger yourself, but then you're going to have to rely on taking your thumb off aim to shoot every time, and that's that's kind of the problem that a lot of these FPSs face, whether it's Modern Combat or Nova or Deus Ex the Fall or Dead Trigger, the first one, was that you've got to take one of your thumbs off of the screen to shoot. So you've either got to stop moving or stop aiming every time you want to shoot, which is not a problem that you get in a typical FPS. Whether if you're on a controller, then you've always got your thumbs on the analog sticks, and then you just hit the trigger to shoot. If you're on a PC, you've always got your fingers on the keyboard and mouse, and you just click the mouse to shoot. But an iPhone, because there's no buttons or anything, maybe you could have maybe they could have the volume down button to shoot, because you can have that now. I don't know if Apple will allow that. I know that Apple allows you to do that if you're making a camera app. You can have volume down button becomes the shutter. But then you could have something like a camera game where you're playing a war reporter or I don't know, I'm getting really killed here, or a safari photojournalist or something, and then you just use the volume down button. I'm just inventing a game here. Someone should make that. That'd be cool. Right, anyway. So what I was saying was, The Drowning had an interesting, innovative, different, relatively successful control scheme. Isolani, the new game, has not. It works fine. I'm not saying it's the controls have gone downhill or bad. It's just sort of interesting to see them completely ditch that. Anyway, so it's a sci-fi game. The storyline is about how there is one star left in the universe, and sort of everybody is crowded around it, and that's sort of giving you some problems. I don't know what these are. These energy pods. I think you just got to find them. And the levels are generally the most boring thing in the world, of just wandering around these very uninteresting. It's got a nice skybox, look. But just very uninteresting sci-fi locations, shooting these flying robots, shooting boxes, shooting door locks, in the sort of gameplay that kind of went out of date in the 90s. This kind of does feel like playing a 1998 FPS that came out and was subsequently completely forgotten about. I've just run out of battery. But yeah, so the gameplay is actually really quite boring. It's fine to just shoot the things. It feels relatively satisfying, and the controls, like I say, they work fine, but it's just unbelievably repetitive. The The story's interesting to a degree though, so maybe that's got that going for it. I'm just collecting these energy pods. It's got no in-app purchases at the moment, though I can't imagine that's going to be like that when/if this game ever comes out around the world. That's just not likely, because it comes from DNA, who is one of the sort of leading guys of free-to-play and monetization and all this malarkey. It's Mabage, they make all of those games like Rage of Bahamut and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I don't really. I guess they're sort of testing more of the control scheme and the levels rather than the monetization for this soft launch. It's currently available in New Zealand. Did I say that? I think I did. Yeah. So like I say, it's relatively. I mean, it plays fine, but it is sort of breathtakingly unimaginative. I could shoot that from there. I'm on the sort of the 10th level now, I think, and I've just been doing the same thing over and over again. Slightly different weapons, but yeah, these bots are just not really that interesting to kill. They don't really have very clever AI or group tactics or anything like that. The objectives are the same over and over again. It's just sort of, quite unbelievable how uninteresting this game is. And I mean, to be fair, the drowning was also uninteresting, so you've got to give Scattered Entertainment points for consistency. These get out of here. And why have I been giving a pistol for this weapon level? So it looks like there's some sort of energy system with the guns that will be introduced in the main game. Yeah, this game has been sort of very stealthily put out. Scattered and DNA haven't really said anything about it. It's just sort of discovered randomly on the New Zealand App Store, as these games often are. Some soft launches like Rovio's for Angry Birds Epic are well documented and announced, but others are just sort of quietly done. But anyway, the nice thing about soft launch games is that anyone can play them, as long as you can be bothered to make an iTunes account. You can play them. So anyway, so I complete the level. It's got my time. It's got the gun I use. My accuracy 100%. Hooray! And like, it's got that little battery indicator there near the pistol, so I assume that's some kind of energy system. And then we've got a map. I guess it's the last level of the episode, but I can't bother to do that right now. Wow, this gun is really running out of energy. We get different guns. We got AK-47s, and it's sort of strange how it's all very futuristic setting, but then you've got very old school guns. So I guess when the MP5 runs out of energy, you can go to the AK-47 and all that sort of stuff, and you can unlock it with money and all this sort of things. That's Isolani. It's coming out. I have no idea when it's coming out. I shouldn't have said that. But it is there's potential there for it to be interesting, just based on the fact that it plays fine, and for a first-person shooter on an iPhone, it just needs some more variation, something more to do than just going around shooting the same robots over and over again. Thanks for watching. There's more on pocketgamer.co.uk. Not really much more, because there's not much more to say, but general stuff. Anyway, I've got to go. Thanks for watching. Bye.